You save when you can. You invest a little here and there, but then you check your account and it's barely moving. Here's the thing. Most people don't fail at building a portfolio because they don't invest. They fail because they don't have a system. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I'd build a $100,000 portfolio starting from zero, the actual step-by-step strategy with real numbers and realistic timelines. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do next. Most people wait until they feel like they have enough money to invest, but that moment never comes. There's always rent, always something breaking, always an expense that feels more urgent. They end up constantly saving but never investing, or investing tiny amounts inconsistently. The real mistake is they don't understand the system. They treat investing like a side hobby instead of infrastructure. Because they don't have a system, every investment decision feels like a gamble. Every market dip feels like a reason to stop. But the people who build portfolios that hit 100K, 200K, 500K, they just built a system early and let it run. If I were starting from zero with the goal of building $100,000, I'd break it into three phases: foundation, acceleration, and compounding. Phase 1, the foundation phase, months 1 to 12. The first year is about building infrastructure. You need three things: an emergency fund, a tax-advantaged account, and automated contributions. First, build a small emergency fund of $1,000 to $2,000, just enough so a flat tire doesn't derail your investments. Second, open a Roth IRA. In 2026, you can contribute up to $7,500 per year. Every dollar grows completely tax-free. If you invest $7,500 and it grows to $50,000 over 30 years, you keep all $50,000, no taxes on the $42,500 in growth. This is one of the hidden money systems most people don't use early enough. Third, set up automatic contributions, even $200 per month. Automation removes the emotional decision. You're relying on a system that runs whether you think about it or not. In the first 12 months, my goal is establishing the behavior. Contributing $500 per month into a Roth IRA invested in a low-cost index fund like VTI or VOO gets you around $6,000 by year one. That's the foundation. Phase 2, the acceleration phase, years 2 to 7. Once the system is in place, focus on increasing contributions. To hit 100K in a reasonable timeline, you need to scale up. If you have a 401K through work, use it. In 2026, you can contribute up to $24,500 per year. If your employer offers any match, that's free money. Employer matching is one of the highest return investments you'll ever get. Here's the strategy. Max out any employer match first, maybe $200 to $400 per month. Then continue your Roth IRA at $625 per month. Then increase 401K contributions beyond the match. Real numbers. Contributing $625 to a Roth IRA and $400 to a 401K with a company match, adding $200 equals $1,225 per month total. Over 5 years with 8 to 10% returns, that grows to $95,000 to $105,000. The psychology: most people can't sustain $1,225 monthly without addressing lifestyle inflation. Every raise gets absorbed by bigger apartments, nicer cars. The key shift is treating raises as investment opportunities. If you get a $5,000 raise, invest $3,000 of it. This is how you accelerate without feeling deprived. Phase 3, the compounding phase, years 8 plus. By 100K, something shifts. You see growth from gains themselves. A 10% return on $10,000 is $1,000, but on $100,000, it's $10,000. Your money works harder than you are. Most people never get here because they stop early. They invest for a year, see slow growth, get discouraged. The people who hit 100K understand wealth is built in decades. The first 100K is hardest because you're fighting human psychology the entire time. Here's the shift that changes everything. Most people see investing as something they do with leftover money.
But if you want to build a 100K portfolio,
you have to see investing as a non-negotiable expense. It's not, I'll invest if I have extra money this month. It's, I invest first, then I figure out how to live on the rest. That's the difference between people who build wealth and people who stay stuck. The psychological barrier is fear. Fear that you're doing it wrong. Fear that you'll need the money. Fear that the market will crash right after you invest. But here's the reality. The market will go up and down. You will make mistakes. You will wish you'd invested more or invested differently. But the biggest mistake is waiting for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment doesn't exist. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. When you reframe investing as infrastructure instead of a gamble, it stops feeling risky. You're not betting on a stock, you're building a system that compounds predictably over decades. And that shift in perspective makes it possible to stay consistent even when the market dips, even when life gets expensive, even when you're tempted to stop. So here's exactly what I do starting today. First, open a Roth IRA with a low-cost brokerage like Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab. Set up automatic monthly contributions, even if it's just $200 or $300 to start. Invest those contributions into a broad market index fund like VTI, Total Stock Market, or VOO, S&P 500. These funds give you instant diversification across hundreds or thousands of companies without needing to pick individual stocks. Second, if you have access to a 401k at work, contribute at least enough to get the full employer match. If they match 5%, contribute 5%. If they match up to $200 per month, contribute $200. This is the easiest guaranteed return you'll ever get, and it's part of the hidden money system that most people underutilize. Third, increase your contributions every time your income increases. If you get a raise, a bonus, or a side income boost, immediately increase your automatic investment by 30 to 50% of that increase. This is how you move from phase 1 to phase 2 without feeling like you're sacrificing your lifestyle. You're just redirecting new income instead of letting it disappear into expenses. The biggest barrier most people face is feeling like the amounts are too small to matter. $200 per month doesn't feel like it'll ever turn into $100,000, but over 15 years at an 8% return, $200 per month grows to over $70,000. Add in raises, add in employer matches, add in consistency, and you hit 100K faster than you think. The math works, but only if you start. Building a 100K portfolio from zero isn't about finding the perfect stock or timing the market perfectly. It's about building a system, automating it, and letting it run. It's about treating investing like infrastructure instead of a side hobby. And it's about understanding that small, consistent actions compound into real wealth over time. This isn't a get-rich-quick strategy. This is the long game. But the long game is the only game that actually works. The people who build wealth aren't the ones who find shortcuts. They're the ones who start early, stay consistent, and let time do the heavy lifting. If you're starting from zero today, you're not behind. You're just at the beginning. And the beginning is exactly where every 100K portfolio starts. So open the account, set up the automation, and let the system work. I'll see you in the next one.